Hi everyone, my name's Maddie and I'm an artist. I practice a technique of painting called Plein, which is French for outdoors. The Impressionist painters popularized this technique in the mid-19th century, but I put my own spin on painting from life by using a combination of pen and watercolor. So sometimes I draw from life indoors, like in coffee shops or bars, and sometimes I paint outside, like parks and landscapes. But the key is I like to paint and draw from life rather than working from a photograph or abstractly. So these are a few examples from my most recent sketchbook. And today I'm going to do a plein air landscape painting and show you how I paint. So I'm going to show you the art supplies I use. This is my watercolor palette, and you need a clean jar of water. My brushes that I use, micron pens because they're archival and waterproof, and lastly a paper towel. Oh, and my mom if you want to record yourself. I start out with pen loosely to just capture the main elements of the scene. I like to work in pen because I feel like I can get a little fussy just working in pencil because you can start and stop and keep erasing forever. So I like to be bold and just start working straight in pen and kind of let the mistakes just be there, because you're working in a sketchbook and it doesn't have to look perfect. That's not the goal of painting outside. It's just to learn and be in the moment and have fun. So I'm going to start off by putting in the base layer coats of all of the main colors in the piece. So this is the blue of the sky, and then I'm going to do the yellow trailhead. Watercolor is a really transparent medium, so I like to do a lot of layers. I start out light first, and that generally means I add more water to my pigment to make it lighter. And then progressively as the piece goes on, I make the pigment more concentrated, and so it's darker. Now, there's a lot of greenery in this scene, so I wanted to talk about just the diversity of the color palette you can use. So green isn't just one color. The green you see will be different based off of the different vegetation or light or time of day. In this scene, I'm using a lot of burnt umber mixed with my Hansa yellow medium and ultramarine blue, because the vegetation is a little more brown here. Later, I'm going to add more blues and purples for the shadows and a bit of a more concentrated green hue for some texture in the trees.
Oh, 1 mile in fog patches and showers early Friday, but improving to greater than 6 miles on Friday morning.
Stars shining bright above you. Night breezes seem to
my favorite part of the painting process is adding shadows at the end. I like using this purple hue. I mix a ultramarine blue with like an alizarin red, and it creates this just gorgeous color that really adds depth and contrast to the painting. It emphasizes the light and shadow, and I think it just really brings everything together in the end. So the final step I do is I go back in with the Micron pen. It kind of adds more definition that you've lost along the way of when I was painting. I drew kind of lightly with the Micron pens initially, so it just helps get those details back. I'm adding a lot more details in the foreground as opposed to the background because from closer up you see more details than from further away. So I'm trying to depict the way your eye actually sees things.
Oh, 1 mile in fog patches and showers early Friday, but improving to greater than 6 miles on Friday morning.
Stars shining bright above.
And don't forget to sign it. So thanks for watching.